I mistakenly assumed this was a trilogy. That's such a huge violation. Yeah, like I said, I'm that idiot. Every 100 years, the island of Lightlark appears to host the Centennial, a deadly game that only the rulers of 6 rounds are invited to play. The Centennial offers the 6 rulers one final chance to break the curses that have plagued their realms for centuries. Each ruler has something to hide. Each realm's curse is uniquely wicked. To destroy the curses, one ruler must die. So, I've seen Lightlark go around for a bit. Apparently it's a TikTok book. I don't know. I'm very rarely on TikTok, and when I am, I don't really get recommended books for some reason. I don't really watch much anyway. Feel like I may have had like a preconceived misconception of what the book was, because I kind of sort of got the impression that it was going to be like a smutty romance fantasy kind of a book. I mean, there is romance, there is some smuttiness, but it's very tame considering what's out there. It's very, well, you get details, but it's also like behind closed doors kind of a deal, which I don't mind that. I kind of enjoy that a lot more, so thanks for that. The thing was, so we start the books, we start the book, the one book, the first book. I have not picked up any other yet. Only this one. Anyway, we start the first book and we meet Isla. Isla is going to this island, Lightlark, and she's supposedly going to compete of something. Now, the first thing we see is her telling the people that raised her that yes, she's going to do exactly what they said she should do once she arrived, but she has ulterior motives. Oh no. So it turns out she's had this stick of some sort. Apparently it belonged to her mum. But with this stick, she could apparently travel around a bit, and she kind of made a friend, Celeste, who we see a lot more of later, as it were. But so she's made this friend, Celeste, and they've made their own little pact. They made their own little plan of what's going to happen. So basically what we start off with the book is those two going hunting for something, but I didn't feel like it was very clear exactly what they were looking for. I suppose they knew, but also it might not have been like what they thought it was going to be. I don't know. I was a bit unclear about that point. And at the same time, so I should point out that all these rulers are magical in some way. So basically when all the rulers are together, they're kind of showing off their powers and whatnot. And well, the thing with Isla is she is powerless. She has no power. So she's going around like cheating the system. Honestly, she kind of does it brilliantly. She's not a little dum-dum. She's quite brilliant, actually. But is she brilliant enough? That's that part. And then we have like the other rulers. So one of them is the king of Lightlark. And then we have, I think, 2 other men. So 3 men altogether. And I was very unclear of who these men were for the longest time. I was so confused. At one point I thought they were all just the same person, and then I was like, but wait a minute, they're in the same room as one of the other ones, so how does this work? I couldn't really keep track of that. I didn't feel like I got a big enough description of them to like separate them, because they were just kind of one person impersonating 3. I don't know how to explain that part. But so we have that part. But then we also have, so she's kind of working with these men as well, trying to figure out the world and the mystery, because they have the 100 days to not die, basically, because one of them is like fated to die, or so it says somewhere. The curse, the myth of the curse, I don't know. Basically, everyone's trying to survive in their own little way. But there's plot twists. Yes, there is. So I'll say this as trying not to spoiling, as I'm trying not to spoil the book. So there are people may not be telling. So some characters may not be who they say they are. Plot twists. And they may be on the opposite sides of one another, or they may be on the same side as one another. Who knows? There was some plot twist. Yes, it was intriguing. Definitely it was intriguing. Definitely makes me want to read the other books. I think there's 2. I don't know if it's 3 in total, but I think there's at least 2 out. So yes, I will be picking them up when the library holds come in. Apparently, they're quite popular. There are quite a lot of people waiting on them before me. So there's that. I got distracted by a phone call and now I don't remember where I was. Anyway, so, plot twist, backstabbing, I guess. Mystery man, I don't know who to. I honestly didn't know by the end of it. But, so, there's a special bonus chapter in this book. I don't know which books haven't and not, but I read it. So, apparently, our girl Isla, she did have a romance with one of the men. Yes. Only she doesn't remember it because he took those memories away. So that when she got to the island of Lightlark, she could do her business, as it were. Yeah. Now, if those feelings in that relationship they were having were as intense and I guess evolved as they seem to be in that chapter, that's such a huge violation. I mean, I get it, because it's explained in the plot, so I get it, but that's such a huge violation of, like, everything. Such a huge violation. He still loves her, that's not the point of it. It's just that she doesn't remember him. And he was just sort of like, well, I was gonna give you the memories back so you could remember us. Well, she doesn't, does she? Ah, sucky. She knows of the relationship, as it were. She just doesn't know the relationship. Anyway, I'm gonna go wait for book number 2, which I think was like Nightbane. Let's see. Nightbane is number 2, and then we have Skyshade. I know there's so many people ahead of me for those books, so we'll see. Hopefully book 2 comes before book 3. Don't bet on it. Don't bet on it. Yeah. Anyway, see you in a bit. Alright, let's talk about the second book. Nightbane. Oh, how glary is it gonna be? I don't know. Probably a lot glary. So basically, don't pick up this book if you haven't read the first one, because you will be very confused. Yes, you will. I mean, I did read the first one. I mean, I think I read like 2 or 3 books between book 1 and book 2, but still. Wow. Okay, so basically, book 2 picks up right where we left off in book 1. It's like time has not moved. Well, it has moved a little bit, but you'll catch my drift. You'll catch my drift. So we're following this plot line of Isla basically trying to figure out her role as a ruler, because that's kind of what she is now. Yes, spoiler for book 1, so yeah. There's that. I don't think I can talk about this book without spoiling it, but yeah, anyway. So she has the two boys from book one. So Oro and Grim. I wanna say that's. I mean, Grim I can pronounce. I'm pretty sure that's how you. But Oro, I, I don't know. It's Oro. So I want to say Oro. Also, it doesn't seem right. But anyway, the two dudes that are rulers of the different kingdoms. I want to say. Well, it is kingdoms, isn't it? Because it's all divided in such an. Anyway, the different dudes with the different magic, and basically she has a lot of it from having had none in the beginning of book one, like thinking she was without powerless. Yeah, now she has a lot of it because yes, it did turn out she had powers to begin with. They were just kind of, I guess, dormant would be a word to use. And now, because she has the love of these dudes, she has more power. Yeah, that's basically how that works, apparently. I don't know. Anyway, so she's basically following this plot of I want to say resurrecting stuff, but well, not really. Trying to figure out how to be queen, I guess, be a ruler and unite people and unite the kingdoms and not get killed by enemy kingdoms and such, and figuring out of the curses and all that mumbo jumbo that, oh hello Tom, that it's hard to keep track of, I'm not gonna lie. This is at the same time that we have a past plot line. Can I say that? No, but apparently not. So basically, I felt like it was every other chapter. I'm not actually too sure it was every other chapter, but it did feel like it. It feels like it was a lot. So basically, let's say every other chapter, we are following this past plot line where basically Isla meets the dude. I'm not gonna say which dude is which. Yes, I'm not gonna do that. So if you're watching this far and you haven't actually figured things out yet, read the books, yeah. Anyway, so we have that past plot where we get to know the dude that she was first in love with, that in book one had taken away her memories of them as a couple, and now we see them becoming the couple that they were previously to book one before her memories were removed and she fell for another dude. Confusion! Confusion! Honestly, it kind of felt like it was a bit too much. It felt like we had two plots. We had the present one and we had the past one, and neither of them could stand as a book on their own. So we had to have both of them at the same time, and honestly, I kept getting confused about what timeline we were in because I didn't feel like it was too clear. I mean, I eventually got it a couple of, sentences in, but I would have liked more like a concrete now we're in the past, now we're in the present. Yes, you have to dumb it down for me sometimes, okay? I just need, like, this is the character, this is the time, this is the place. Yes, give me that. I did enjoy it though. I did enjoy it for what it was. I don't think it's like mind-blowing. It's very entertaining when you're keeping track of what timeline you're on, but yeah. Anyway, I have book 3. I'm gonna go pick it up in a moment, and I'm excited to see where it all leads. I think book 3 is the final book, so that will be a conclusion. We love a conclusion, don't we? Yes, we do. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit. Yeah, I'll do. Skyshade, the third and final for now, because there's more. There are more. So I very much thought this was going to be a trilogy. Oh, was I mistaken? Yes, I was. Why? Honestly though, so basically what this one is, sorry, my foot was itching, so I just sat like this for a bit. Yeah, itchy. Anyway, so basically what this book is Isla has decided on the one man. So there's Grimm and there's Oro. I'm not going to say which one she's decided on because that's just the way it goes. So she loves them both, but she's decided on the one man. So she's with said man, just having a life, basically. That's not really how it goes, but it's semi sort of that. But then she kind of sort of emotionally cheats on said man with the other man. I make up your damn mind, girlie. Maybe you shouldn't be with either one of them. Maybe that's the one you should choose. Honestly, I think she wants a threesome. I think she wants them both, but the men, they hate each other, so that's not gonna happen, girlie. No, it's not. No, it's not. Definitely mistakenly thinking that this was a trilogy and this was the third and final book. It was not. No. I don't know how many more there are gonna be, but there's more. Yeah, because this one ends on a cliffhanger as well, so it's like, what? I don't have a lot to say about this. I thought it was honestly a bit of a mess. I mean, book 2 was a bit all over the place, and also the timelines kept confusing the hell out of me because she was remembering the past while living in the present, and somehow, blah, 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 blah. That was book 2. Book 3 is mostly only in the present. I had to think about that. There's some like backflash kind of a deal, but it's not like book 2 was. Honestly though, at this point, I do not know where this series is gonna go. Will I pick up the next one? Probably, because I'm that kind of idiot that just needs to read everything, apparently. Once I've started a series, I just need to finish it, and it's actually a problem. It's most definitely a problem. But it's one that I'm dealing with, I guess, you know, by reading the books. Yeah, that's how I deal with it. Anyway, yeah, very confused about this series. Had it been like, this is the end, yeah, it would have been a terrible ending considering what this book goes through, but it still would have been more of a, okay, we're done here then, good. Now I don't know what's happening anymore. Also, now thinking about it, I think the next installment of this series is going to be a book from the two dudes' perspective. I think I remember seeing something about that. It was a like dual perspective, dude perspective. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Anyway, it's not the best, let's say that. I will probably read more because like I said, I'm that idiot. So that's gonna happen. Yeah. Let me know though, because have you read this series? Do you want to read this series? Let me know, especially if you've read this series. What are your thoughts? Because I haven't actually seen a whole lot about them, despite them being very hyped. They're everywhere, supposedly. Well, I keep seeing them, but I don't remember people actually talking about them. So that's what I'm missing. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This has been this video. I shall see you all next time. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.